Welcome to District Command Central, your go-to source for the latest news and updates on the Washington Commanders. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a play. Jaden Daniels is getting all the buzz, and honestly, it's easy to see why. The Washington Commanders haven't had a true franchise quarterback in what feels like forever, and Daniels brings that long-awaited spark of hope under center. Fans are hyped, analysts are debating his ceiling, and the franchise seems ready to rally around their new signal caller. But while all eyes are on Daniels, there's something quietly special brewing on the other side of the ball. Something that isn't getting nearly enough attention. There's a player, a cornerstone in the making, who could become just as important to Washington's future success as their prized quarterback. He's not the headline grabber. He's not the guy in the flashy commercials or hyped up interviews. But for those paying close attention, for those who really understand the game, it's clear that safety Quan Martin is quietly emerging as a foundational piece for this rebuilding franchise. Now let's get one thing straight. Ron Rivera's time in Washington wasn't exactly littered with success stories. 4 years, lots of turmoil, and not many lasting victories to hang his hat on. But even in the most chaotic chapters of a team's history, sometimes a hidden gem sneaks through. And in this case, Quan Martin might be Rivera's parting gift to the Commanders. Drafted in the second round out of Illinois, Martin didn't explode onto the scene right away. He wasn't an instant star, but that's the beauty of his story. He's grown steadily, earned every snap, and now, as he heads into his second full year as a starter, the potential is there for something huge. The whispers have started turning into quiet chatter. This guy might be special, and the Commanders might just have a serious building block in their secondary. Bleacher Report's Mo Moton recently put a spotlight on Martin, calling him a potential franchise cornerstone that's flying completely under the radar. That's not light praise. In a league where safeties don't always get the love they deserve, Moton is recognizing something in Martin that deserves more national attention. He pointed out how the NFL has increasingly valued safeties who can impact the game in multiple ways. Those ball-hawking, do-it-all defenders who can shift momentum in an instant. That's where Martin's headed. No, he's not there yet, but all signs point to a breakout year coming. He's already carved out a starting role with little real competition, and with the trust of the coaching staff, 2025 could be the season where everything clicks. And let's not overlook the financial implications here. Martin isn't eligible for an extension just yet, but come next offseason, that changes. If he continues on his current trajectory, the Commanders will have a very big decision to make. Do they lock him up early and avoid a future bidding war? Or do they wait and risk watching his price tag skyrocket? Ball-hawking safeties get paid in today's NFL. Just look at recent contracts around the league. Martin has the traits, the growth, and now the opportunity to position himself for a massive payday. He's not just playing for stats or respect anymore. He's playing for life-changing money. And if everything breaks right, that extension could come fast and with a hefty dollar sign attached. Martin's journey from raw rookie to potential Pro Bowl caliber starter is one that deserves more recognition. His rookie year wasn't flashy, but it laid the groundwork. He cleaned up his tackling, improved his reads, and gained the trust of his coaches. By year 2, he looked noticeably more confident, more explosive, and more in control. He made smarter plays, showed better range and deep coverage, and wasn't afraid to step into the box when needed. This kind of development isn't just encouraging. It's a signal that Martin could be a long-term piece in a defense looking for consistency and identity. And now that the Commanders are in a new era, with a new regime and renewed energy, guys like Martin will be the ones to define what this team becomes. Let's also consider what the Commanders didn't do this offseason. They let Jeremy Chin walk without much fanfare, allowing him to sign with the Las Vegas Raiders. That decision says more than people realize. It was a clear vote of confidence in Martin. Washington believes they've got their guy, and they are ready to let him be the leader of that safety room. There's no safety net, no big free agent signing behind him, just a wide open runway for Martin to become the alpha. That kind of internal belief from a front office is huge, especially for a young player still carving out his NFL identity. Now it's up to Martin to seize the moment. And if history tells us anything, it's that he's ready for the challenge. Versatility is Martin's superpower. Whether it's covering in the slot, patrolling the deep middle, or coming downhill in run support, he's got the toolkit to do it all. That kind of versatility is pure gold in today's NFL, where offenses are more complex than ever and defensive. Flexibility is the name of the game. Martin's ability to match up with tight ends, help in the box, and still cover ground in deep zones makes him a rare asset. He's not just filling a role, he's redefining what the Commanders can do with their secondary. As the league continues to emphasize hybrid defenders who can adapt on the fly, Martin's stock only rises, and with a full off-season to hone his craft, he's primed to take yet another leap in his third year. Adam Peters, Washington's new general manager, will have to make several big decisions in the coming months and years. Rebuilding a team takes more than just nailing the quarterback. It's about identifying which young players are worth building around. If Martin continues his upward trajectory, Peters may not wait long to offer an extension. Securing a versatile, ascending safety before the rest of the league catches on could be one of the smartest moves this front office makes. It's about setting the foundation now so that when the Commanders are ready to contend, the core is already in place. Martin has a real chance to be part of that core, not just as a good player, but as a tone setter for the defense. And think about what that kind of leap could mean not just for Martin, but for the entire Commanders' defense. A true playmaking safety has the power to change games. Interceptions, forced fumbles, drive-killing tackles. Martin's instincts and athleticism put those kinds of plays within reach. And if he starts converting more of those opportunities, he could suddenly become a household name. That ripple effect can't be overstated. A dominant safety can free up corners to play more aggressively, give defensive coordinators more creative flexibility, and provide a security blanket against big plays. Martin has that potential, and 2025 could be the year he turns that potential into consistent production. At the end of the day, the Commanders are building something new. New leadership, new quarterback, new culture. But while Jaden Daniels gets all the attention as the face of this fresh era, don't sleep on the guys like Quan Martin. He might not be the one doing press conferences every week or gracing the cover of media guides, but he could be just as vital to this team's success. A strong, versatile safety who's only getting better. That's the kind of piece you build a championship caliber defense around. If Martin stays on this path, if he continues to grow and leads from the back, and he won't be under the radar for much longer. The Commanders may have quietly found their next great defensive leader, and soon the whole league will know his name. If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment with your thoughts on the Commanders' latest moves. We want to hear from you. Whispers are growing louder around the league, and if you've been paying attention to the chatter coming from Ashburn lately, there's a name making waves. Devin Lloyd. That's right. Word is the former Jacksonville Jaguars linebacker could be packing his bags and heading to Washington to join the Commanders. While nothing is official yet, multiple sources close to the situation are suggesting this move is more than just smoke. It's the kind of buzz that makes you pause and reconsider the entire outlook for a defensive unit. Devin Lloyd has always been a playmaker, a guy with sideline-to-sideline range, instinctive tackling, and leadership that's hard to find. For a Commanders defense that's looking to rebuild its identity, especially in the post-Ron Rivera era, Lloyd's presence could be the seismic shift they need. Could Washington be building something new up front? The timing and the fit seem just right. Let's dig deeper into what this could mean. First off, let's talk about what Devin Lloyd brings to the table. The former Utah standout was drafted in the first round by Jacksonville in 2022 with high expectations. And while his rookie season had its ups and downs, his second year showed flashes of elite level play. He's not just another linebacker. He's a hybrid weapon who can rush the passer, drop back into coverage, and diagnose plays before they fully develop. Now, imagine that kind of versatility injected into the Commanders' front seven, especially one that's already starting to shift under new defensive philosophies. Lloyd wouldn't just be another piece, he'd be a cornerstone. And according to insiders, Washington's front office has been quietly watching his situation in Jacksonville, ready to pounce the moment the opportunity presented itself. Is this a strategic steal in the making? The possibility alone has fans and analysts alike buzzing with curiosity. Of course, any major move like this raises questions. Why would the Jaguars let go of a talent like Lloyd? The answer might lie in scheme fit and internal changes. Jacksonville has been retooling its defense, and sometimes even the most talented players find themselves out of place in evolving systems. With new defensive coaches coming in and a focus on building around different core philosophies, Lloyd could be the odd man out. That doesn't mean he failed. It just means he may thrive elsewhere. And if you're the Commanders, you're licking your chops. Bringing in Lloyd would be a calculated risk with massive upside, especially considering how Washington has struggled with linebacker depth and consistency in recent seasons. Could this be a rare win-win for both franchises? Don't be surprised if we're talking about this deal as one of the off-season's boldest moves soon. When you look at Washington's current defensive personnel, you begin to see the perfect storm brewing. They've got promising young linemen, a solid secondary still trying to find its identity, and a glaring need for a general in the middle of the field, someone to command the front seven with authority. Devin Lloyd could be exactly that. He's vocal, physical, and hungry to prove he belongs among the league's elite defenders. Pair him with emerging talents like Jamin Davis or veterans like Jonathan Allen, and suddenly you're not just talking about a defense. You're talking about a problem for opposing offenses. There's even chatter that some within the Commanders' locker room are already excited at the possibility, treating it like the spark this unit needs to reclaim its reputation. Could Devin Lloyd be the missing piece? It's starting to feel like this isn't just hopeful speculation, it's inevitable. But let's not ignore the ripple effect this could have across the NFC East. If Lloyd does end up in Washington, it immediately alters the balance of power defensively in the division. The Eagles, Cowboys, and Giants would all have to rethink how they attack this new-look front seven. A player like Lloyd isn't just impactful on paper. He changes how quarterbacks read the field, how offensive coordinators draw up game plans, and how running backs prepare for battles in the trenches. Imagine Dak Prescott or Jalen Hurts looking across the line and seeing Lloyd shadowing them. That's enough to throw anyone off rhythm. It might be a quiet move now, but come season time, it could be the defining acquisition that puts Washington's defense back on the map. Sometimes the biggest shifts start with the smallest whispers, and the whisper right now is getting louder by the hour. And let's talk about the locker room leadership aspect. One thing Devin Lloyd has been praised for, even back in his college days at Utah, is his maturity and professionalism. This isn't a guy who needs to be coddled or babysat. He walks into a locker room and sets the tone. For a team like Washington that's coming off a chaotic few years, coaching changes, front, office upheaval, an inconsistent on-field performance, having a guy like Lloyd can help stabilize the culture. It's not just about stats or highlights. It's about setting a new standard. Players like Lloyd lead by example, and they demand excellence from everyone around them. That's exactly what this Commanders roster needs. There's a reason fans are starting to get excited. This isn't just a hypothetical move. It feels like the beginning of something much bigger. If Washington lands him, don't be surprised if we see a culture shift overnight. And what about the financial side of things? Lloyd is still on his rookie deal, which makes this move all the more enticing. Washington wouldn't be mortgaging their future or throwing big money at an aging veteran. They'd be bringing in a high upside player with team-friendly cost control. That flexibility could open the door for further additions, building around Lloyd with complementary pieces to create a truly dangerous defense. In a league where managing the salary cap is as important as managing talent, a move like this is strategic genius. It's the kind of front office foresight that separates good teams from great ones. Add to that the possibility of Lloyd outplaying his contract and becoming a leader in Washington's next playoff push. And you've got all the ingredients for a narrative that fans love. Redemption, opportunity, and a chip on the shoulder. Lloyd in DC? It just makes sense on every level. It's also worth noting how Lloyd could influence the Commanders' draft strategy moving forward. With a player like him anchoring the linebacker core, Washington's front office could shift focus to other needs. Maybe reinforcing the offensive line, adding more depth to the secondary, or even targeting another edge rusher to complement. The interior pressure. Lloyd's versatility gives the team flexibility, and in today's NFL, versatility is everything. He can blitz off the edge, drop into a zone, or even spy mobile quarterbacks. A true modern linebacker. With a chess piece like that, new defensive coordinator Joe Witt Jr. could start drawing up exotic schemes that actually work in the modern game. It's a move that would ripple through the entire defensive philosophy. It's no longer about reacting, it's about dictating. And that's the kind of shift fans have been begging for. If this rumor is real, it could redefine what Washington's defense is all about. Let's not overlook the emotional angle either. Washington fans have had it rough over the past decade. Constant rebuilds, disappointing seasons, and a revolving outdoor of underwhelming personnel. But rumors like this one give fans hope. Devin Lloyd represents more than just a talented linebacker. He symbolizes a new direction, a sign that the team is serious about winning, about building smartly, and about restoring pride to a franchise that's long needed it. And for Lloyd, this could be the fresh start he never knew he needed. A chance to be the guy on a rising defense in a football-crazed city desperate for a new hero. That kind of narrative writes itself. And if this deal happens, the emotional energy it would bring to FedEx Field might be enough to turn tides. Every now and then, a move comes along that just feels right. This might be one of those moments. A perfect fit at the perfect time. So what's the bottom line? As of now, Devin Lloyd to the Washington Commanders is still technically a rumor, but it's the kind of rumor that keeps gaining traction. It checks every box: need, fit, value, timing, and upside. Jacksonville may be ready to move on, and Washington seems ready to capitalize. It might not happen tomorrow or even this week, but keep your eyes peeled. Where there's smoke, there's usually fire, and this one's starting to blaze. For a team in transition, this could be the foundational move that kickstarts a new era. And for Lloyd, it could be the perfect stage to showcase what he's truly capable of. Don't be surprised if we look back in a few months and call this the trade of the offseason. Until then, stay tuned. The Commanders might just be building a wall, and Devin Lloyd could be the first brick. Thanks for tuning in to District Command Central. Make sure to subscribe and follow us for all the Commanders news you need. Until next time, keep the faith and hail to the Commanders.